A lovely group gathers at a rental apartment in Berlin, where Thies, a seasoned real estate agent, is sifting through paperwork handed to him by a hopeful renter. These are the requirements necessary to rent an apartment in Berlin. Thies asks if she has any additional income, as it is essential for the landlord to accept the contract. At that moment, another woman arrives with all the completed paperwork, which Thies accepts without reservation. Among those interested are Bruno and Sonja, a man and woman of Polish origin who wish to move in together. Later, Thies ensures all the paperwork is in order for the lease. A female colleague flirts with him, to which Thies responds indifferently. They discuss the situation of the shabby apartments and other problems related to his work. The female colleague reproaches Thies for his cynical attitude, pointing out that he does not seem to care about the difficulties of others. Thies lead a routine and disconnected life on the streets of Berlin. After jogging in a park, he meets Bruno, who has been waiting for him. Thies remembers seeing him with his partner, but Bruno corrects the situation, explaining that she is his sister, not his girlfriend. Thies tells him that he will be unable to help them rent the apartment, as the rules are strict and they do not meet the requirements. Bruno unexpectedly asks Thies out. This proposal takes Thies by surprise, but he assures him that he has noticed that Bruno is attracted to men. Uncomfortable and upset, Thies walks away. A few hours later, while Thies is working in a warehouse stacking furniture, he talks to Marcos, the owner, about his daily problems and personal relationships. Marcos reproaches him for Thies' apathy. In a bedroom in Thies' house, we find that the situation between Thies and Bruno has taken an unexpected turn. They are having sex, so Bruno's intuition was correct. A little later, they share a moment and Bruno explains that he and his sister have been unable to rent an apartment despite their income. This makes Thies feel guilty for not helping them. Meanwhile, Bruno's sister Sonja walks the streets of Berlin looking for something. Back at the real estate office, Thies' boss mentions issues with some of the properties they manage. The boss seems to flirt with him, although Thies is not interested. A few days later, Thies shows Bruno and Sonja an apartment for rent. The pair of siblings speak in Polish, so it is not clear what they are saying. Thies tells them they can stay in the apartment without paying since it is unoccupied. Sonja is unhappy with the situation and insists on signing a contract and paying rent, since they would have no guarantees. However, the siblings end up accepting. Life goes on as usual, as does Thies and Bruno's relationship. They have sex and spend time together. Everything is going well. Thies has run-ins with people interested in renting an apartment at work because of the necessary paperwork. A strange woman approaches Thies on the street and asks him if he can rent her a place without paperwork since certain people have told her so. Thies refuses and tells her that he cannot help her, which angers her. The next time Thies meets with a lover, Thies questions the type of relationship they have, to which Bruno responds naturally. In Bruno's apartment, Thies finds a suspicious little notebook. He then begins to ask Bruno questions about where he comes from, about his past, as the notebook he found is written in Russian. After Sonja's arrival, Thies continues to find reasons to be suspicious, as Bruno talks about a story from his past in which his mother found a pornographic magazine on him, in which a nun performed oral sex on a priest. Thies' work life continues to unfold. In conversations with Marcos in the morgue, they discuss problematic relationship situations in which lies, secrets, and resentments abound. Marcos lets off steam while Thies listens passively and simply tells him he has met someone. Thies begins to feel that something is wrong with Sonja and Bruno's situation, so he secretly spies on Sonja while she is working in a local shop. However, he sees nothing out of the ordinary, so he decides to go to the two siblings' apartment while they sleep to investigate. Upon entering the apartment quietly at night, Thies finds after opening a door that the two supposed siblings are sleeping together in an embrace. This confirms his doubts, and he decides to act. He makes noise in the kitchen, making coffee, until Sonja gets up and talks to him. Sonja reproaches him for having entered without permission and for invading their privacy. Thies simply asks her if it bothers her that she is sleeping with Bruno and asks her why the two are lying to him, as he claims that he knows that they are not really siblings and that they are not Polish either. Sonja explains that she does not have papers and that it is true that she is not from Poland but from Belarus. In addition, she confesses that she entered Germany illegally. At that moment, Bruno stands up and tells him they really didn't lie to him because they are siblings, just not by blood. They have known each other since they were children, and Sonja worked for his family from a very early age, so they have a very close relationship. Thies tells them that he will not report or charge them money for the apartment, but he asks for one condition, that they do not tell any more lies. They both agree but warn him that the truth may be too strong. Days later, while working in his office, Thies receives an unexpected visit from one of the clients who has not received his documents. The man is deeply upset because his situation remains unresolved. Thies is unable to help him, and the situation escalates even further. Later, Bruno goes to visit Thies one day when he is working at the warehouse. They greet each other with a kiss and talk naturally. Marcos and Bruno meet, look at the furniture that Marcos is selling, and propose a business deal. Marcos ends up accepting. Bruno and Thies drive off together and talk about Sonja and her personality. Bruno tells her he protects her from men who don't respect her. He tells a story about an ex-boyfriend of Sonja's, Steve, who lied to her and only used her for sex. A little later, they pick up Sonja at her workplace store. At that moment, a police car on patrol passes by on the street, which makes Sonja nervous. The three of them then drive off to Bruno and Sonja's house. They drink wine and talk about experiences that marked each of them. Then, they start making up a story, taking turns, making Thies and Sonja's relationship more substantial and close. Meanwhile, Bruno watches in silence. Little by little, the three of them become closer. Back at work, Thies attends a meeting with all the employees but is distracted. The boss unexpectedly congratulates Thies on his work. He has performed remarkably well. Thies doesn't mind. A little later, Thies learns that one of his colleagues has sent a plumber to fix a pipe in the apartment where Bruno and Sonja are secretly staying, which alerts Thies. He rushes to the apartment and manages to deal with the situation with difficulty, excusing himself for the apparent mistake of marking the apartment as unoccupied. This creates tension and suspicion as the technicians notice that something doesn't fit. When he returns to his car, he finds papers and stickers on the windshield claiming asylum for all. Thies' tension begins to be palpable when he goes to talk to Sonja at the store where she works. He tells her the technicians won't say anything about the inhabited apartment. Sonja is not comfortable with the situation, asks Thies not to let the technicians into the apartment, as that could get Sonja and Bruno into trouble. The conversation continues, and the tension between the two increases. They talk about Sonja's future possibilities and end on bad terms. However, one night, the three of them met again and spent time together on the streets of Berlin. They have fun together, play games, and hug each other. Thies' relationship with the brothers grows closer. Bruno and Thies kiss while Sonja drives the car, and it is evident that she is not entirely comfortable. Sometime later, Thies and Bruno go on a road trip to Poland. Thies learns basic Polish expressions using an app. They both laugh and look happy. This suggests that they go visit Bruno's mother, but Bruno refuses, saying that he prefers that they not know that he is there. Thies insists, but Bruno gives him justifications for not doing so. It is revealed that the trip is to pick up some furniture to do the business that Bruno had proposed to Marcos. After selecting them, they pay the contact and acquire the furniture very cheaply. On the way back to Berlin, Thies stops at a hotel for the two of them to spend the night and have some space to have sex. Bruno is unhappy with the idea, saying that he doesn't want Sonja to be alone, but they end up doing what Thies wanted. Bruno is clearly not happy. While they are in the room drinking beer, a woman knocks on their door to inform them that there is happy hour at the hotel bar. Thies declines, but before she leaves, Bruno and the woman exchange a few words in Polish animatedly. This makes Thies jealous and insecure. Together, they go down to the bar. Bruno exchanges glances with two women, and they begin to converse in Polish. Thies watches without understanding. Bruno asks for cash to give to the women, and Bruno explains that they must pay him to leave the two of them alone. Thies agrees and gives him the money. Bruno and Thies dance together, enjoying the night alone they have. They kiss passionately in the middle of the dance floor. At night, Thies wakes up and sees Bruno peeing through the window. The next day, they resume their road trip and return to Berlin. When they enter the apartment, they realize that Sonja is not there. Bruno becomes deeply worried, imagining the worst and blaming himself for not being there for her. Thies remains calm and tells him Sonja is a grown woman who can care for herself. Bruno, very upset, begins to pack to look for her. Thies seems to be holding something back. Bruno leaves the apartment, anxious. At the warehouse, Marcos receives Thies and what they bought in Poland. Marcos is distraught, saying that the objects they brought him are worthless and that selling them will be very difficult and at for a meager price. The deal he made with Bruno has gone wrong. Thies becomes angry and begins to throw the furniture around angrily. Marcos simply leaves, disappointed. A little later, Thies cries alone in the car, expressing great sadness. Thies returns to Sonja and Bruno's apartment and finds all their belongings gone, indicating they left, hoping that they will return, and that this is the only place he can see Bruno again. Thies spends the night in bed. The next day, Thies speaks to the woman who talked to him on the street to ask her for the same favor he granted the brothers, as it is his only lead. However, the woman says she doesn't know where they are even though she knows them. They explain to Theo that they are in a tight spot because their building will be demolished. They discuss the difficult situation of being homeless and having to struggle to find a place to live. A man questions Thies about the real reason for helping the brothers. This upsets Thies and he leaves angry. Thies Thies returns to the brothers' apartment and finds Bruno's lighter on a table. Bruno is seen desperately searching for Sonja on the streets of Berlin. Sometime later, Thies' colleague arrives at the brothers' apartment to talk to Thies. The colleague asks if the siblings left, indicating that she had known about the situation for some time. The whole situation leaves Thies depressed, who looks hopelessly at a lake. Thies goes to visit Marcos and his wife, who has a medical condition and is in an institution. They spend some quality time together and share a dessert. That same evening, Thies and Marcos drive back to the city. Thies tells him that she looks better, but Marcos disagrees. In the final scene, Thies finds himself drinking a cold beer outside a bar. Alone again, he reflects on the day's events, the solitude wrapping around him like a familiar shroud, echoing the loneliness he felt at the beginning.